God-level duplication system. Chapter 83. Battle. On the gambling arena, Chen Anlin, Jose, and the other Chi transformation stage peak disciples were surrounded by countless inner sect disciples. On the contrary, Lin Xuan, who was supposed to be the main character of the event, was the one that no one cared about. This formed a strange scene. The corners of the deacons' mouths twitched when they saw this scene. With Lin Xuan's interference, their original focus had shifted. Lin Xuan's move was really powerful. Although it was easy to think of this method, they had only seen Lin Xuan do it before. It seemed like Lin Xuan was very confident in his strength. The bet this time was very interesting. The deacons looked at each other, and their eyes were filled with anticipation. After a while, Chen Anlin, Jose, and the other Chi transformation stage peak disciples were annoyed by what they heard. They couldn't attack here, otherwise, it would be even more troublesome. In the end, Chen Anlin couldn't bear it any longer. He said sternly, "Let me do it." After he finished speaking, the crowd quieted down. All the disciples of the inner sect looked at Chen Anlin with anticipation. Chen Anlin's expression was cold, but his eyes were filled with helplessness. Even with the strength that Lin Xuan had displayed, he didn't have absolute confidence in winning. Not to mention the fact that Lin Xuan had a calm expression from the beginning to the end. He might have hidden a lot. But at this moment, he had no choice but to go. After that, Chen Anlin sighed in his heart. Under the gaze of everyone present, he walked over. Very quickly, Chen Anlin arrived at the arena and stood opposite Lin Xuan. The arena also became silent. Their eyes gathered in the arena. They were looking forward to the next match. Next to them, the judge glanced at the two of them and announced, "The bet begins." After saying that, he retreated to the side with a look of anticipation in his eyes. This was a battle between Chi transformation stage peak disciples. In the gambling arena, this was a rare occurrence. Chen Anlin cupped his hands and said, "Lin Xuan, I admire your talent and strength. But you shouldn't look down on us old disciples as new disciples. After all, not everyone has talent like you. Today, I represent the old disciple fighting you. Regardless of victory or defeat, I hope this matter can end here. This is good for everyone." "Sure." Lin Xuan nodded slightly. He had angered these old disciples so that they could finally earn the bet and energy points. Now that he had achieved his goal, there was no need for him to continue. "Alright. I will not hold back in this battle. Let me experience the strength of a sect's top genius." Chen Anlin's eyes sparkled. Since the problem was solved, he would fight with all his strength in this match. He also wanted to know how strong Lin Xuan was. After saying that, Chen Anlin stretched out his hand, and a full moon-shaped blade appeared in his hand. Lin Xuan also took out a treasure sword. This was also something he could copy. Many people liked to carry the treasured sword around with them instead of storing it in their storage ring. They used it to cultivate the blade Dao Kendo and comprehend the concept. This was also a very good opportunity for him. He didn't even need to buy the spirit weapon. The expressions of everyone on the scene changed when they saw this. They were looking forward to this match even more. In the previous matches, Lin Xuan didn't use any weapons. This time, Lin Xuan took out his spirit weapon. This match should be even more exciting. Furthermore, it was said that during the outer sex competition, Lin Xuan revealed his artistic conception of creation. They didn't know if they could witness it this time. All the disciples thought to themselves, there were some ordinary disciples from the inner sect who had comprehended the embryonic form of the concept, but none of them had comprehended the artistic conception of creation. They had never seen an artistic conception of creation before. They were looking forward to it. On the arena, "Lin Xuan, come." Chen Anlin shouted out loudly and slashed out with the treasured saber in his hand. Red moon, gold splitting. A ray of red light streaked across the sky and attacked Lin Xuan. In an instant, it became 10 meters big. Lin Xuan showed off his power. No one could compare with his power. Many disciples of the inner sect were surprised. They had a whole new level of respect for Lin Xuan. Their hearts were greatly shaken. Was this the strength of a Chi transformation stage peak? This was far from what a late chi transformation stage could compare with. Everyone's hearts trembled as they looked at Lin Xuan. How would he deal with such an attack? On the arena, Lin Xuan was still as calm as ever. When the red moon blade light descended, he threw the sword in his hand forward. Gale. Lin Xuan spat out 2 words. In an instant, a piercingly cold whirlwind surrounded the sword, reducing the power of the red moon blade light by more than half. After that, the treasured sword tapped on the red moon blade light. Then it was retracted. The originally menacing red moon blade light suddenly lost its imposing manner. It was as if it had been fixed in midair by an invisible force. Then, countless crisp sounds were heard. The red moon blade light instantly shattered, turning into the spiritual energy of heaven and earth and dissipating. It did not cause any harm at all. When everyone on the scene saw this scene, their hearts were once again shocked. Among them, apart from a few chi transformation, stage peak disciples, no one had the confidence to take this attack. But just like that, it was easily shattered by Lin Xuan. It could be seen that Lin Xuan's strength was much stronger than what he had shown before. It seemed like Lin Xuan really had hidden a lot of his strength. On the arena, Chen Anlan's heart sank when he saw this. Although he hadn't used his full strength in this strike, he had at least used the strength of a 60%. Even if it was another chi transformation stage peak, it wouldn't be easy for him to deal with this attack. However, this didn't have any effect on Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan easily received this attack. This new disciple, Lin Xuan, was even stronger than he had expected. The result of this battle was worrying. Chen Anlin could not help but sigh in his heart. At this time, Lin Xuan's voice was heard. You don't have to use such a probing attack anymore. It's useless. Use your full strength. If this is your full strength, then you can go down. You will lose without a doubt. Lin Xuan said it indifferently. Alright. Lin Xuan, take this. Chen Anlin shouted. He held the saber with both hands. The true chi surged and the saber fell. Red moon sky splitting slash. A blade light flew out. In the blink of an eye, it had turned into a blade light that was dozens of meters in size, and it almost took up half of the arena. Its power was even stronger than before. A terrifying, sharp edge dissipated as if it were tearing through space. It caused the surrounding disciples to retreat continuously as if they were unable to withstand all of this. Their eyes were filled with shock as they looked at Chen Anlin. Even the remaining chi transformation stage peak disciples had serious expressions on their faces. None of them had the confidence to withstand the power of this attack. They didn't expect that Chen Anlin had already surpassed them without them knowing it. If Lin Xuan had not deliberately provoked them this time and made Chen Anlin fight in the arena, they would not have known anything about it. On the square, a few condensation spin stage deacons slightly nodded their heads. Their eyes were filled with satisfaction. Chen Anlan's strength was considered the top among the ordinary disciples of the inner sect.